Anyway, let's level up.
Yes?
So, in The Witcher 2, you can sit down and rest basically anywhere there's not an enemy, like, right next to you. In The Witcher 1, you do have to find someone like Vesemir, who will give you sanctuary and allow you a space in their home to sit down and do your thing. You can also find a campsite out in the wilderness and light it and make your potions and whatever out there. So yeah, from meditation you can make potions. Here are all my formulae. I do not have any ingredients with which to make potions yet, nor alcoholic bases, but that will come later. And here's the level up screen. So, I am at the Novitiate Witcher stage, which lasts from levels 1 to 10, and at Novitiate Witcher, I get 3 bronze talents per level. So bronze talents can be used for the first 2 veins of every tree. And at the stage after Novitiate, from 11 to 20, I'll start receiving silver talents as well, which are used for the second 2 veins, or the third and fourth veins, I'm sorry. And then, long after that, I will start receiving gold talents as well, for the last vein. Let's see. So at the beginning of the game, Geralt starts with very basic knowledge of all the different styles in each sword type. And you remember I went and learned the Ard sign earlier. But everything else, I start from scratch. I have nothing in any of them. Amnesia. Look what it does to you. So, given that, I need to start building up my Witcherly talents again, and I tend to always do it in a certain order, just like with my other games. At this point, Geralt does not have a silver sword. He will not receive one until the next act, or possibly 2 acts from now, depending on how you measure it out. And, oh god, my lovely neighbors are playing crappy music again. I think they use it to wake up or like pump up for class or some bullshit, so forgive me. You are going to be able to hear that, but I need to get these videos out, so I'm just going to push through. Yeah, so I'm going to avoid silver sword for right now. It's unnecessary, since all I have is a steel sword. So in theory, I could start working on the steel sword to increase my effectiveness with that weapon only. I could also go and start leveling up my Ard. As you can see, the trees in which I've already gotten some talents have a green dot on the first column. Igni, Ken, Axi, and Irden I have not found yet, so I'm not going to actually be able to do anything with these just yet. So yeah, I could go with sign. I could go with my single sign Ard. I could go with strong, faster group steel, but my philosophy is always go with the attributes first, because the bonuses you get from attributes, for instance, a bonus to sword damage, bonus to block, and a health bonus, vitality, things like that, they carry across all your weapons and all your signs. So, you're increasing your effectiveness across the board by starting with attributes. Whereas if you only level up your Ard at the beginning, you're going to be really damn good at one fucking spell. But this yellow bar right here, your endurance, determines how many times you can cast a spell. And this marker indicates the amount of endurance you're going to need to cast that spell. So, shit, man, even if you're running around with Tawny Owl and Maribor Forest active, you're gonna be knocking down enemies maybe every like 4 seconds. And what are you gonna be doing in the meantime? Like swinging your sword like an idiot, not doing any damage. So go with strength and dex first. If you're a combat-based Witcher, go with stamina and intelligence. If you're a signs Witcher, but even stamina and intelligence builds they can't really do anything until they start unlocking more signs, so I amend my statement, just go with strength and dex at the beginning, guys. Anyway, so I am always of the dodging is better than getting hit philosophy, which is like why I like rogues and thieves and all that jazz. So I'm going to give him 2 points in dex, and then 1 point in strength. So I already showed you what strength is. Dex increases your chance to hit, your attack, your chance to dodge an enemy blow, and then also a couple of resistances that have to do with spells and special abilities that enemies have. So that is that. And now I can rest. Look, I can make the marker go around. Isn't that awesome? I think it's awesome. The Witcher 1 is actually, let's see. Yeah, it's one of the only games that I've ever played that has a significant, and I mean significant, day-night cycle. I have played games that have day-night cycles before. Neverwinter Nights 1 did, Neverwinter Nights 2 did. You could argue rather poorly, I guess, that Dragon Age 2 has a day-night cycle, although that's more like a day-night toggle. The time doesn't really change unless you actively go into your world map and switch it manually, except in special situations. But in this game, there's actually a clock, and certain enemies will only come out during certain times of the day. Many NPCs have schedules, and you will only be able to find them like at the tavern from 2 to 4, and every other time they're going to be at their house or something like that, you know? So, I really enjoy that. It makes revisiting areas a lot less grindy than it could be. And it sort of caters to my own playstyle, which tends to reiterate things multiple times, probably ad nauseum. But in The Witcher, that is actually a good thing, because you're not going to catch everybody you need to meet the first time around. It is necessary, if you want to have a complete game, to keep going back. But anyway, yes, so I only need to meditate for 1 hour right now to level up. If I had leveled up and made potions, I would have to rest for 2 hours, one for each action I did in meditation. But this is also a good way just to kill time if you're waiting for someone to show up and you're already in the right place. It is ass hot here, guys, and yeah, it's Berkeley, so it's never going to be as bad as, say, Texas or something like that. Arizona, maybe. I got a job in Arizona, actually, but then at the last minute I was like, fuck, I can't do that. I will die out there. So, no offense to anyone who lives out there, it's just not... I would rather die of hypothermia than die of heat stroke. That's all I'm saying. So... Okay. Talk to me, Vesemir.
Eskel came by while you were resting. Triss is still unconscious, but stable.
That's a relief.
I've made a decision, Wolf. We abandon Kaer Morhen. There's nothing holding us here.
I see.
We need to bid Leo farewell and wait for Triss to recover.
And the bandits?
Yes, we need to finish things. But first we must make a healing potion for Triss. We'll need to search for ingredients. Nothing useful left here.
I can do that. How do I make the potion?
Lambert will give you the formula. Look for him by the fireplace. He's with our brave sorceress.
Lambert? He doesn't hate Triss?
Feels guilty, I think. The first thing Triss will hear when she wakes is, "Finally awake, Marigold." That's Lambert. Let's get to work. Later I'll teach you how to extract ingredients from monsters. I'll be in the main hall.
Fine.
So, extraction of ingredients from monsters is one of the many things that Geralt has forgotten to do. He's also forgotten how to do. He's also lost the memory of how to extract plant ingredients, all of which are necessary to make potions. But I can show you. yeah. So most of these abilities are unlockable. You know, you get your bronze talents or your silver talents or whatever, and then you can, from the level up screen, just activate them. You see, most of them say requires bronze talent, requires silver talent, and so forth. There are a few, though, that are plot unlocked, like this one. It's called a story ability. And so, when Vesemir teaches me how to extract ingredients, I will get this ability automatically. And most story abilities are given to you fairly early in the game, some a few later, but yeah. So this is just like... never mind. It's just it's a device by the developers to give you things that you need to be able to do. Just like unlocking the sword styles automatically. Other talents require consumption of a mutagen. There are certain potions that you will only be able to make once you've killed basically a boss in game, and that boss will have a very rare ingredient on them. And by making this potion, you will unlock these mutagen consumption required abilities, which are usually very, very, very good. I mean, look at that one. Dodge plus 50%. That's awesome. So anyway, let's wander out of here, shall we?